Okay. I'm here. Hey Oodles, hey him, hey Dell. Let's finish the book that made me sad. So good though. Hey, I'm glad. Witch of the Dark Castle. We get Vanillaware art. This isn't Vanillaware though? Yeah, I mean it's not, but the artist worked at Vanillaware, so it's still like the Vanillaware art style, but yeah, I mean I know it's not actually a Vanillaware game. It's just made by like a solo dev artist that used to work there. But the art gives the same sort of vibes and look. Witch of the Dark Castle. Veritas Tales. This is a game where you wield a pencil and some dice as your weapons, and journey through a world of swords and sorcery. You become the hero of the tale, setting off on an adventure to the Dark Castle, where a mysterious witch resides. Along the way, dreadful monsters and deadly traps will be waiting for you. With good judgment and a bit of luck, you might just make it back alive. Now then, steel your courage and set out. I'll think about it. My name is Holger. I am power, I am order. I am wonder, the one who inspires fear in all. When the storm of turmoil sweeps this land, I shall rise again. I don't really want your close-up. Oh, I thought that's Japanese. Okay. I was reading it because I thought it was just like mumbles, because it's like got a weird like filter put on it. But yeah. Late Night Quasi-Tale? Yeah, we're doing it. I was like, there's so much stuff that came out recently that I want to stream that I'm like, I gotta get through some of this, you know? We gotta get through it. And Bug specifically requested this one, and I looked into it and was like, that sounds cool, and I was kind of feeling like an RPG, so. Hello. There you are.
すまんすまん本の置き場がなくてなようこそ我が書斎へさてお客人よ
Hello, Yin Sid.
何用かなおお待った言わずとも分かっとる本じゃなそれも暗黒城の魔女じゃお前さん目の付けどころが良いのまあどこでこの本の話を聞きつけたのかは
Yeah, please don't pry into me.
不思議な場所じゃろうここはお前さんの世界とわしの世界のちょうど中間の地点
Where are you taking the menu?
分かっとる分かっとるよお前さんの言いたいことはよう分かっとる早く始めろと言うんじゃろうこれからお前さんにはある本の中のエリシングという町に赴いて魔女イヌボーグの野望を阻止してほしいんじゃ今でも町は十分ひどいことになっておるんじゃがこれ以上放っておくと取り返しのつかないとんでもなく恐ろしいことが起こってしまうんでな始める前に断っておくがこの本はわしがもう少し若い頃に書いたもんじゃから本の中では格好をつけてお前さんのことを君と呼んどるここは勘弁してほしい
That's fine.
それでは今から危険と後悔に満ちたいや違うなそうそうこれじゃ夢と冒険の世界へいざ旅立ちじゃ
Let's go.
じゃ別の世界へブワーッとかなんとか飛んでくかとでも思ったかここがもう別の世界じゃからな机の上を見てほしいまずはお前さんの分身として冒険に出るものを決めよう候補は2人
I wonder which one I'll choose.
別々の本になっておる1人目は戦士じゃ
You don't even use a sword, use a mace. I mean, their design is so good. Of course I'm going with mage. Okay. Can hear the FFT music? Yeah, that was the other big reason I wanted to play this, because when Bugs posted it, I was like, oh, this looks pretty cool, and then I saw that not only did it have a Vanillaware artist, or former Vanillaware artist, it also has the composer from Final Fantasy Tactics, which is phenomenal. Hey, Quasi, what on earth is this? This is a game solo developed by one former employee from Vanillaware, the people that made, Dragon's Crown. Is Vanillaware the Aegis Rim? Hitoshi Sakamoto, that's it. I was weirdly in my head getting Hitoshi Sakamoto and Yasunori Nishiki mixed up, because they both make phenomenal music. So yeah, so that's what this is. It's basically like a straight up like a pen and paper kind of thing. Like straight up old D&D, or like the old adventure, like choose your own adventure books or something. I think they specifically referenced for this. So, I'm going mage. Not only is it the purple book, I also get to be a cool mage with glasses. But yeah, Bugs wanted me to play this. I say we will begin, yeah. I say we do. I say we do. The other thing about this that is interesting is, apparently it's getting, like, hate or weird flack on, like, the Steam store because people think that the art is AI art, because it has, like, that kind of sheen and stuff, but it's just Vanillaware art. It has been like this for a while, but yeah, it's apparently getting hate for that. I saw in the reviews people were like, ignore the reviews that say this is like AI art. It has no AI art. This is just Vanillaware. Which is depressing. But we'll start the game with this character. Yes. Difficult words? What does that mean? Oh, okay, so like, yeah. Tooltips.
その印で机のものを調べたり動かしたりできるからいろいろ触ってみるんじゃな。よし、準備ができたぞい。始める前にこの魔女について少し話しておこう。
I was curious if I could take off like auto advance because I would love that. Paneri.
強い意志と献身的な愛情を持つ女性。
Look at Paneri. Paneri is a great name. And okay, this does have advance. Good, that's what I want. Paneri staff, a mage staff made from elder wood, given by Abbess Holm when Paneri became training master 2 years ago. Her favorite. When swung with magic, it delivers a powerful shock. Spellbook, Arrow Shot, Poison Mist, Flame Burst, and Sleep Curse. I don't have, like, Grease. Grease is so good, though. Copy selecting only practical spells from Abbess Holm's ancient grimoire. Written in harsh old script, Holm needed 10 years to decipher it. But Paneri mastered it in under a year, cast Light, and Unlock. Magic potion with the same effect as poison magic. Made from cobra neurotoxin with tiny sharp carbon fragments mixed in to scratch the skin. By vibrating the fragments, the caster injures the skin and poisons the target, combat only. Magic potion with the same effect as a flame burst spell. Made from burning water drawn from deep underground. It ignites at once to create a large explosion. Toxic gas may be released during combustion, so the caster must take care, combat only. Water skin sewn from tanned goat leather. The spout is made from cow horn and the inside is lined with goat stomach. Water that soaks into the leather slowly evaporates, drawing heat away, so it feels a little cooler than room temperature. Restores 4 HP. And a healing potion. Restore HP instantly. Miracle water from Lunadinia Spring is mixed with summited stone powder from Peace Valley, then Sister He'll Revi prays over it for about a month. Okay. And these are my stats. Level 9. I'm apparently max level. My HP is maxed, I guess. Interesting. Is that already... What does it mean by 20 max? Interesting.
ユラン歴637年ホルム修道院に彼女は来た2馬車に寝かせられて
Interesting. You're on year 637. She arrived at Holm Abbey laid out in the back of a wagon.
何人もが争った後と血まみれの若い女性の遺体が一つ道端にあったのだと彼女を運んできた農夫は語った 確かに死んでいたはずだったのにとも
Also, let me know if I need to change audio levels or anything. I can't yet, but...
彼女は瀕死の重傷を負いながらも奇跡的に命をつなぎ止めた体の傷跡は1年足らずで完全に消えたが怪我の後遺症か彼女はそれ以前の記憶を今も失っている その後彼女は修道院長のホルムから魔法を学び魔術をはじめ医術、算術、武術に関しても優れた才能を開花させていった
Damn, we're just good at everything. I can body people with the staff?
数年後のある日ユラン国の宮廷魔術師イヌボーグからの呼び出しで ホルム修道院長はオートエリシングに向かう
This also reminds me of like Frieren and stuff, which I love. Are those tabletop like games from Square, I think? I know you played one and I can't remember the name. You talking about the Yoko Taro ones? That would be... God, I just had the name in my head. They were like card games basically, but it was portrayed as like tabletop. Voice of Cards, I believe. Yeah, Voice of Cards. I played the first one, and I think the second one, and the second one was not good, which it came out super quickly after the first one, and yeah, it had issues. Like, there was straight up, I remember multiple times when I was listening to the voice acting, they left the clicks in for the VA to let them know, hey, like, cut this part out because I need to redo the line, and they would just repeat themselves. It happened multiple times. So it was clearly rushed. That being said, I didn't play the third game because of my bad experience with the second game. Like, it wasn't terrible, just, you know, like, clearly unfinished. Apparently the third game was, like, the best one. So, I'm sad I didn't play that one. This then Simbacorp is a VPN. Excited to see you playing this. I want to see the art. Bugsman says hi too. Hi Bugsman, and hey Bugs. I think people interpret this as AI the same way Gen Z might read Lord of the Rings and say that's cliche. Yeah. I mean, it has, like, I can understand people's wariness because, unfortunately, a lot of, like, fantasy medieval art does look like Vanillaware art, probably because it stole Vanillaware art. Or just, you know, art from, like, fantasy novels and stuff. So, yeah, it's a shame. I've seen many artists on Blue Sky and stuff being like, I've been accused of, you know, using AI art when actually the AI stole my art. So, it's depressing. But that's why I wanted to support it.
ホルム修道院長が行方知れずになったとの手紙が修道院に届いた。ホルム修道院長に並々ならぬ恩義を感じていた彼女はいても立ってもいられず、その日のうちに荷物をまとめオートエリシングに旅立った。心の準備は良いかな?
It is. It's ready.
始めるとしよう。
My body is ready. You are now heading for Urin's royal capital, Erishing, and this is a potential save point. Also, it seems like there's two playthroughs for this game, because you can play as the warrior, or you can play as the mage. I don't know if I'll do the playthrough for the warrior, but if people wanted to see the playthrough for the warrior, that is a perfect thing to annoy Leafy about, because Leafy would probably want to play as the warrior anyway. The royal capital of Yuran. Only the opening state of the section, the number shown at the top of the page, is saved. Choices made within this section, item use, battle data, etc. are not saved. Okay. Oh, and it adds a little bookmark. That's so cute. The presentation here is great. Oh, wait, I can scroll up? Oh. Oh, here's the menu. Oh, that's weird. Yeah, voices on, background music on. I mean, I kind of like having the voice. If people wanted the voices off, I could turn them off, but God, that would be a lot of reading for me. There's no, like, other settings, so I can't, like, turn the audio down or anything. Okay. Yeah, no actual settings is odd, but I guess it makes sense for like a basically like, you know, visual novel-esque game is effectively how this is going to be playing out. Yuran's regent, Duke Toergi, welcomed the famed Witch of the Forest, Ingeborg, as court mage and proclaimed to other nations that Yuran was a mighty realm of magic. Regent of Yuran, elder brother of the late King Rolf, governing since Rolf's death. Famed Witch of the Forest, rumors says she led a revolt in the royal capital, Erishing, and was imprisoned. Not long after, a mysterious plague spread through the royal capital, Erishing. At the same time, reports of uncanny monsters came one after another from Rombort Castle, which stands at the heart of Erishing. The source of this calamity is the witch Ingeborg, invited into the castle. She is plotting to overthrow the kingdom. Who could have seen this coming? Also, is this, a Noodles Wood up here? I think it is. Some sort of winged creature. Such rumors spread like mold among the wary people, and Yuran, so recently jubilant to welcome a court mage, found dark clouds suddenly gathering overhead. And 3 months ago, the witch Ingeborg was at last imprisoned by the order of Duke Toergi. Whoops. The map you obtained is accurate, then once you pass through this forest, the towering city wall of the royal capital Erishing should spread out before you. Yuran, not Yuran. Got it. Yuran. Oh yeah, I did say Yuran earlier, didn't it? I love that we are all now constantly on the lookout anytime there's a potential Oodles Wood. I gotta make sure she's aware, you know? Every single time I see this, I'm like, you know what? You know what? Maybe I should send this to Bestie. Maybe she'll find some fanfics or something. A deer is walking ahead of you, but the moment it notices you, it hurries off and vanishes into the thicket, alive with robin song. I don't know, but I did a double take when I heard it like mold and urine. They said earlier, I believe, when the character was talking, he pronounced it Yuran, which is kind of just like a fancy way of saying urine, you know? I have to go urinate. 3.5 days have passed since you set out, and the afternoon light is beginning to slant. Though you should be near a great city, there's no sign of travelers, and you begin to worry you may have lost your way. Oh, and look at my character looking at me, all animated and stuff. Oh my god. Imagine getting like a Vanillaware VTuber. Yeah, that's how we should all do it now. I agree. And yet you cannot bring yourself to turn back. From the weariness of the road, you can no longer tell whether your legs are sticks or the sticks are your legs. For you, who scarcely ever left the Abbey, this long journey can only be called harsh. Aw, we're not fit. When you emerge from the forest and step into the dazzling sunlight, the fierce sun lights the sky and mountains as far as the eye can see, the vast fields and the imposing city wall. The enormous city stretches beyond the edges of your vision, overwhelming any who behold it. Seems you've reached the fortress city of Erishing, Yuran's royal capital. All at once, you notice something fighting fiercely right before the gate. There are no other people in sight. It does not look like play or training. A strange tension quickens your heart. At last, you can no longer hold yourself back, and forgetting the weariness in your legs, you break into a run. As you draw— what the hell? Are those titties on like a golem? And like a this whole number right here? As you draw closer, you begin to understand what is happening. A man and a gigantic stone golem are locked in combat. Non-living object animated by magic and granted a soul. Yep. The man looks like a warrior. In his powerful hands, he grips a broad-bladed sword. His opponent is a pseudo-lifeform born of magic, yet you have never seen a golem so huge and moving so smoothly, like a living person. Is the golem a quasi-wood? Eh, not really. Not my preference. Honestly. That's for someone else. That's fine. Oh, Oodles will take it? Oh, okay. Yeah, see, that's for Oodles. If Oodles wants to be between a rock and a hard place, you know, who am I to stop her? Must have been made by a mage of great renown. You know all too well how troublesome such a thing can be. It seems the golem is the city's gatekeeper. To keep the warrior from approaching the gate, it swings its great boulder-like arms and blocks the way like a wall. Now then, my friend, your first battle comes early. What do you do? Why that golem got boobies? I'm guessing the statue it was animated from already had some boobies, so they were like, yeah, now it's got boobies. What's disturbing me even more is I think this is a bracelet. But I like to think they're like Mickey Mouse gloves, you know, or Mario gloves. Hold back and watch, help the warrior fight. I mean, it would be pretty funny to see the warrior just get immediately bodied. You know what, I'm just gonna go ahead with my canon that I mentioned earlier, where I was like, Leafy will play as the warrior. So... would I help Leafy if Leafy was in a fight with a golem? Nah, we'd hold back and watch. Let Leafy squirm. You can go to the corresponding page? Yeah, you do. So we are actually going to be skipping the fight if I do this, because yeah, that says 4. This goes all the way to 13. Yeah, have fun, Leafy. You watch for a while, trying to decide who to help. The warrior lightly dodges the golem's fists and in one smooth motion turns to attack, yet he still cannot land a decisive blow. They seem to evenly match in strength, but against a tireless golem he is likely at a disadvantage. Lend me a hand, he cries, turning towards you. What do you do, my friend? Wait and see! I could just be such an ass, oh my god. Alright, we left Leafy to squirm long enough, I guess. We can help. This is also probably the combat tutorial. You help the warrior fight the golem. Normally, battle should be avoided, but this time it cannot be helped. You quickly take up a stance to attack the golem. To attack an enemy, you must first make an action value check? Is this initiative? Roll 2 white dice for you. Oh, okay, so the text down here is different than here. Yeah, add each total to that side's level, and the result is that side's action value. So since I'm 9, okay. Add your level to the total of your 2 white dice, that becomes your action value. This music is good. I like this music. I'm trying to think of what it reminds me of. At first I was thinking Nier, but no, not quite Nier. Next, add the enemy's level to the total of 2 red dice. That becomes the enemy's action value. Oh, this isn't initiative. This is just how combat works. So either you hit or the enemy hits. If the action value is higher than the enemy's, your attack hits, and you may subtract your attack, the enemy's defense, from the enemy's health points. Your action value is lower than the enemy's attack hits you, and you may subtract the enemy's attack. Yeah. The action values are the same, neither attack hits. If you reduce the enemy hit points to 0, you win. If your hit points reach 0, you die. Choose an action card, and the dice will be rolled automatically. Now let the battle begin. Battle starts against Golem! Oh, look at the little pin! Oh, it has 46 HP. It's only level 6. Warrior joins the attack. At the end of the turn, deal 1d damage. When you attack an enemy, you must make an action value check. You and the enemy each roll 2 dice. Yeah. Attack with the higher value wins. What do you do? Attack with your equipped weapon or bare hands. Weapon uses -1. Okay, so I might have to fix... Oh, we have durability. Interesting. I'll just attack right now. And... Alright, your attack cuts through the air and yours catches... Their attack cuts through the air and yours catches the enemy. Just barely. Ikoyo. I did it. Warrior attacks. Deal 1d. Okay, just 2 damage. I like seeing the eraser pop up and everything. It's very cute. Female-shaped stone statue that moves smoothly, almost like a living creature. Little else is known. Good, let's take the next one too. Attacks hit when your roll of 2 dice plus your level is higher. Now choose an action card. Yeah, it's explained that like 3 times. They really want to make sure you know how it works. Wonder if in like testing of stuff, some people were confused about how the combat works. Uh-oh. I messed up. Your attack cuts through the air and theirs catches you. Ow. 13? Oh my god, I only have 20 HP. Okay, thanks. Come on, one more time. Let's take it back. Attacks hit when your roll of 2 dice plus your level is higher. Good luck. Yeah. What do? I might need to take a health potion, honestly. There's no way I'd lose again, right? Yeah. There you go. Eat that. Ooh, 5. Going, yeah. What do? I don't think I want to keep attacking. I should probably use this health potion. Here you go. Oh, and that's free use. Oh, nice. Okay, I thought that would take an action, but it did not. Maybe wasted that? Again and again, your blows find the golem, yet none is decisive. Your arms feel heavy with fatigue, your legs too are leaden. Oh, okay, so I wasted my healing potion. Warrior fighting at your side seems to tire, his movement slowing to a stop, but in the next instant, he ducks low, darts in under the golem's arms, and with a lightning-fast stroke, shatters one knee. The golem goes still, then slowly pitches forward, sinking into a crouch. Now, you have your best chance to bring down the golem. As a witch, you can wield magic. To cast an attack spell, you need either a grimoire with the spell written in it, or magical reagents. Right now, you can cast 3 kinds of spells. This is the finishing blow. From the 3 options on your action card, which spell will you cast? Magic Missile, which it's calling Arrow Shot here. Fast Arrow, uses -4, Flame Burst, Explosion plus Flames. I mean, I think the only thing that would actually kill a golem is Flame Burst, right? That feels like the correct choice. Maybe we just go back into combat if I don't finish it here, though. No, I mean, it's a rock. Explosion's gonna be the thing that's gonna be most effective. Let's just use that, because it's the safest. The Flame Burst spell hits the golem's head dead on. 1 letter of the word carved there, emet, shatters into fragments. At once, the golem's supple movements cease. It seems you have felled the golem. Perhaps the spell breaks when the golem dies. The stone surface that, until moments ago, stretches and flexes like tan leather, loses all suppleness, crumbling of its own accord into a towering heap. A grave marker of stone. This battle you gain 5 XP! Once it exceeds 100, your max level and max HP increase by 1. Your experience points reach 100, yeah, and you grow stronger. Okay. Thank you, you saved me. Together you rejoice in your victory over a formidable foe. Look at those arms. Classic Jewish golem. He asks you, did you know the golem's weakness? But when you give only a vague reply, he explains that when the first letter vanishes from emet, truth, on the golem's forehead, it becomes met, I am dead, and that is how you defeat the golem. Oh. Oh, interesting. Neat. Hey, Havelock. Do you have a lock? He's a traveler from the neighboring country of Lucifang, and it seems he has come to the royal capital to meet a certain person who is supposed to be there. An aristocratic nation southeast of Iran. Powerful, multi-ethnic, multi-faith state. 1/8 of its population is enslaved. Oh. Huh. I mean, it's an aristocratic nation, and when I saw that, I was like, eh, but then it said it was powerful, multi-ethnic, and multi-faith, and I was like, okay. And then 1/8 of its population is enslaved? Oh, I hate that. Says there was a golem at the nearest north gate from here, and another at the south gate on the opposite side of the wall. Most likely, each gate has a golem. It's an unnatural state of affairs to have dangerous golems at the city gates. Even inside the city, there's no telling what dangers may await. Since your aims are aligned, you decide to enter the city together. Closed though it is, the city gate is unbolted. You put your strength into it and push the heavy doors open. Inside the gate, it is dim, like a small cave. You can truly feel the thickness of the wall that encircles the entire city. Yeah, it's caked up. You pass through the gate with care, on your guard. Beyond the gate, you come out onto a broad street. There's not even a gatekeeper, no sign of people at all. The shop-lined streets seem to hold their breath, silent and still, an empty shell. Only your footsteps are swallowed up by the deserted main street. What happened to this city? Doors left standing open, toppled barrels of fruit, clothing scattered across the ground. Now and then you catch the smell of something rotten. Havelock says, pointing toward the far end of the street. A lone man stands in the street's shadows. His arms hang slack at his sides as he begins to walk towards you slowly. Hey, is this a zombie apocalypse? Did we just don't dead open inside this place? I think we just don't dead open inside this place. Like, not the meme, but like, yeah, there was zombies in there and I wasn't supposed to open this, and like the fool that I am, I opened it. So here we go, I guess. You're worn out from a journey you aren't used to, but the man coming towards you looks far more exhausted. You raise a hand to greet him and draw a deep breath. No, you catch it in your throat. The man's skin is ashen and drained of color. His clothes are smeared with blood and grime, making him look utterly unkempt. The foul stench from earlier must be coming from him. When you look closer, you see his eyes have clouded over, milky, sightless, and yet he comes straight for you. Is that like a lance stuck in you? I think so. Got one set of grippers out. Worse still, his steps are speeding up little by little. Something is clearly wrong. Even when you warn him, don't come any closer, he does not stop. You know it at once. A walking corpse. Spoken of in legends and tales, this must be one of the living dead. Reeking of death, drool spilling from its mouth, it lunges at you. You swiftly dodge aside and move to strike back. Okay. Oh yeah, zombie wizard apocalypse? That's what's happening. Alright. You don't have nearly as much HP. When you attack an enemy, you must make an action value check. Yep. What do you do? 1d damage, critical times 2, spellbook usage minus... I don't think we need to do all that for you. At least my heal earlier wasn't wasted either. Ooh, 12 damage. Okay. Bonk. Just barely. Thank you, cool witch. Wait, what happens if I click on you? Oh, she like talked to me, I think? Oh, she does. Yeah, she just yaps at you. Judging by the state of decay, the fallen one does not seem to have been dead for very long. Then where is this foul stench coming from? This reek now so strong it makes you want to choke.
Oi, miro.
At Havelock's voice, you lift your gaze, only to find several of the living dead already before you closing in. Like insects swarming to a torch, the mindless dead, by their curse, are drawn to the flame of your life. Oh yeah, speaking of insects that should be burned alive, interesting development. I think the spotted lanternflies are becoming they're becoming more common here. I saw a nymph a bit ago and killed it. Today there was one outside our house, and when we went to look at our new house a bit ago, there was one outside one of the windows just chilling on the window. So we're seeing a lot more of them now. That's for sure. I never really saw them at all before, but now... yeah. Miss the Wizard Lady, if I can ponder her orbs. Can Chili ponder your orbs? That's what she said. Yeah, this might be your first year of them. Yeah. Yeah, they're super, super invasive. They're like kill on sight invasive. When you look back, countless dead sway in rows along the main road you came from, blocking the exit route from the city. Your retreat has already been cut off. Run, Havelock shouts. You think he's right. What do you do, my friend? Right or left? No, I have too much. There's too much right in the world these days. I'm going left. I walked with my mother yesterday and she was like, you see those 6 trees? Trees of heaven, but they're on our neighbor's property. Ooh. Save the illegal shit for the flock cameras? Exactly. So you break into a run, Havelock dashes off down a different road. Havelock waves wildly and shouts at the top of his lungs, trying to draw the living dead's attention. Aw, Leafy's protecting me! Half the undead go after Havelock, and the other half follow you. Even so, there's still too many to handle. For you, unfamiliar with the city, running around too much is hardly wise. What do you do, my friend? Nearest house, left alley, turn right at the corner, slip between the few living dead ahead. I don't know if slipping between the few ahead is the best call. The alley seems like it could be a bad call because I could just go down it and then they're blocking the alley and then I'm trapped in there. Turn right at the corner up ahead, slip between the few living dead. I'm gonna turn right up ahead. The road bends there, my friend. You can't see what lies beyond. Even if you've run straight into a huge mob of the living dead, it can't be helped. Swarm of the living dead piles onto you. You've joined the silent procession of the dead yourself. Go to 14. Damn! You were dead, like a pebble tumbling into an open grave. Your soul returns to the primal light, and in time your body will mingle with the earth atop your coffin. If you wish, my friend, you may start your adventure over or rewind time. Rewind time a little. Okay, so we died. Uh-huh. Let's try that again. Let's just always go left. How about that? You have no idea what lies beyond that narrow alley. Straight into a mob of the dead. Okay. Rewind time. Gotta rewind time. Break into a run. Yep. Okay, so let's try slip between the few living dead ahead, because I think that's probably going to be our best bet. Slip between the few living dead ahead. You dodge a few of them, and despite your panic, your legs grow heavier and slower. And then a white-haired undead stands before you, and at last your feet come to a halt. You have no choice but to fight. Battle against white-haired undead! Look at you! When you attack an enemy, you must make an action value check. Yeah. What do you do? I will bonk you. Ooh, good roll. Nice. And I'm a pretty significantly higher level than you, so... Bonk. Moves yet, looks like a corpse, reeking of rot. It lunges at you. Little else is known. Ooh, neither can hit. Ooh. Okay. Attack again. There you go. So like Virginia Creeper. Going to have to kill my silver maple this year. It makes me really sad. Oh, that sucks. Our new home has a Japanese maple in it. In the backyard. And a sunflower? Victory in this battle is a hollow one. The undead have already filled the world around you and there is nowhere left to run. Oh, okay. No, we still die. Even if we fight there, still dead. Okay. There we go. Run into the nearest house. So the first option was the correct one. Sprint for the nearest house and slam into the door as if to shoulder it open. Flip a coin to see whether it opens. It's tails. Tails? The door is shut tight, as if it's been mailed from the inside. You... While running down the street at full speed won't help, try that house next door. Hurry to the next house's door. Flip a coin to see whether it opens. It's heads. Heads! The door isn't locked. It opens easily. Behind you, one of the undead, quick on its feet, bears down on you. You leap into the entryway and quickly pull the door shut behind you. Just in the nick of time, the horde slams into the door. Outside, the living dead scrape and scratch at the door like cats sharpening their claws. My friend, you... reinforce. You drag a heavy table in front of the door and pile chairs on top of it. That should keep you safe for a while. As the tension breaks, a deep fatigue washes over you. It seems the undead's groans outside are gradually growing louder. By contrast, the house is deathly silent, and you sense nothing moving. You walk softly, careful not to make a sound. At the back of the room, you can see a staircase leading to a second floor, and an entrance to what looks like a kitchen. This looks like peak Flash, old point-and-click adventure game art to me. Check the kitchen, go upstairs. I'm checking the kitchen. Maybe there's more canteen. I can, you know, get more water. Another one. Along the left wall stand an old-fashioned hearth, a shelf of cooking tools, and row of dishes. The back door straight ahead has been nailed shut with several planks. Did Havelock get got? I looked away. No. So when we chose a direction, he went the other way. I don't know if I had went that way, if he would have came with me, but it seems like the intention was he was just going to lead them wherever I wasn't going to go, so we could split the horde, which would give each of us a better shot, I think. A thin layer of dust has settled on the hearth, and around it, it seems a long time has passed since this place was last used. In the center of the room is a table set for 6, and beside an overturned chair lies a single citrus fruit that looks fresh. Yeah, this is where they did their D&D and tabletop board game days. God, I would love to... Morgan and I have talked about this before. Be able to have parties with, like, friends and have, like, tabletop days and, like, board game nights and stuff like that. Ugh, the dream. You glance toward the fallen chair and turn only to notice a plain, unassuming door beneath the stairs. Got 4 choices. Take the citrus. Yeah, what if I get scurvy? Take the citrus. Pick up the citrus. It seems a few days have passed since it was harvested, yet its skin is taut and glossy, and it carries a fresh scent. Ooh, juicy fruit with sweetness, tartness, and a faint bitterness. Once a luxury from the southern continent, but large farms were built here 5 years ago, and now it's common fare. Look outside through the back door's small window. Let's do that. Used to have D&D night. It was so fun. Yeah, I don't know. I love the idea of it. And just like playing multiplayer stuff as much as possible in general. It's usually good for my brain. Look outside through the back door's small window. Behind the building seems to be a wide shared garden. Might be a lovely sight in ordinary times, but you can see at least 6 undead out there. It could be dangerous to go outside from here. Check the wall. So it really is a place that serves food. The shelves are packed with cooking utensils, well-used dishes, and jars of spices and seasonings. Doesn't seem to be anything else of note. Open the door. Put your hand on the door beneath the stairs. It seems to be locked from the inside. Well, I'm going to cast an unlocking spell, of course. With a soft click, the door opens quietly. Inside is in the storeroom. It's a stairway leading down into the dark below. I'm just gonna peer into the darkness. You can't see anything, but you can hear someone sobbing. Sounds like there are survivors. You call out, "Is someone there?" A man's voice immediately answers from below. "Are you one of the living?" From the gloom emerged an old man, a little girl, and a woman who seems to be her mother. The old man squints against the light as he speaks. Seems they've been hiding in the basement for these past 3 days. Seems the child vomited earlier, and the girl's mother has a high fever as well. These 3 are nearing their limits in both strength and spirit. You tell them, "We can't stay here," and promise to protect everyone. The old man replies simply, "I'll follow you." You figure out how to escape. I mean, I do feel like I need to know what's happening. You ask them what the city is like now, but they say they don't know and they have been hiding ever since the undead appeared. Oh, okay, that's it. In the heavy silence, as you ponder what to do next, the sound of furious pounding comes from outside the door. Oh, that's just Oodles with her werewolf boyfriend. Ignore it. Sobbing, it's a witch from Left 4 Dead. Oh, no, no. I'm used to killing witches in Left 4 Dead. Specifically Left 4 Dead witches. I value other witches way too much. Way too much. Okay. Bang, 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 bang. It's the sound of someone pounding on the door. Open up, a man's voice called. It's coming from this house's front door. What the hell? I don't trust that. There was just a mob outside, right? I'm gonna wait. Hey, you're in there, aren't you? The man's frantic voice carries through the door. I'll go. Bang, 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 bang. Someone pounds on the door again. If you mean to open it, you'll have to move the stacked tables out of the way. Zombies can't talk, but what I'm more curious about is me and this other character that we were with are clearly well-trained, like, battle-hardened characters, and we had to run our fucking asses off away from that place. So, who the hell is this person that can just walk up to our door, seemingly not even having to worry about the zombies, and knock on it? The only person I could think of that could possibly do that would be possibly a necromancer that caused this entire thing, or like some super badass that apparently killed them all. Clearly he's worried. But there was like a swarm of zombies at that front door like minutes ago. I don't think that's a, oh, he's worried. I think that's a, somehow all the zombies are gone. How? How in the fuck? Like, if he was, like, knocking on the door, like, hurry, they're coming, that'd be one thing. But, like, the zombies were already at the door trying to knock it down. What the fuck happened to them? If you mean to open it, you'll have to move the stacked tables out of the way. I'm also a little bit suspicious of, this specific kind of thing. Because I have seen zombie folklore and stuff where they can do mimicry. In some ways. And since this is fantasy zombie and not like the boring modern day zombies, it's like, you know, anything can go. Clear the stacked tables and open the door. I'm gonna get... This is scary. We're gonna... I wish there was a window for me to look out. Alright. The moment the door opens, a young man rushes inside. He gasped. You shut the door at once, and with the man's help, you shift the tables back, blocking it again. What the hell happened to all the zombies that were just banging on my door 5 minutes ago? And you better not be bitten either, because that was the other thing I was worried about. Young man limps as he offers you a handshake. It looks like he's hurt his leg. I mean, you're cute, but what's with this? What's with this, huh? Huh? What is this whole thing going on here? Take a closer look. A handsome young man with golden hair and a blue eye. His hands are clean, without a single scratch. He must be used to a comfortable life. His injury doesn't seem severe, but it looks quite painful. Also, you don't even look battle-hardened or anything. Like, how did you come to the front door? The back door was the one that said it was barricaded and had, like, a few zombies at it. So if you came to that one, I would be like, oh, whatever. But... his hair's too fancy. Yeah, nobody looks like this in a zombie apocalypse. Gildy says he worked as a court musician at Rombork Castle. Court musician, hampered by a leg injury from escaping. Black Castle that towers over central Erishing. Lately, this city's people have been calling it the Dark Castle. Stands in the center of the city. He'd been kept in the castle's prison these past few days and says he's shocked by how much the city has changed. He says he escaped that prison this morning and fled the castle, but injured his foot along the way and couldn't move. When he saw you enter this house, he called out for help. You... That's why he was in prison. Wish my hair looked that good after a few days in prison. Same. I panicked and botched it, Gildy says, scratching his head in embarrassment as he tries to brush it off. What do you mean you panicked and botched it? That didn't tell me anything about what you actually did. Well, your work as a court musician. Musician hired by the witch Ingeborg. He says, I play the harpsichord. Or the harpsichord. Famed witch of the forest. Rumor said she led a revolt in the royal capital and was imprisoned. What do you ask? Injured foot? Says he was bitten by one of the living dead while fleeing. Even without help, he can still manage to walk on his own. Alright, into the fireplace you go. No questions. You introduce the three from downstairs to Gildy. A discussion begins about how to get out of here. Okay, so how long until he turns and kills these people? Just then, something shatters upstairs and falls with a crash. You lift a finger to your lips. Everyone there strains their ears. Faint footsteps come from above. The old man whispers from the attic. You? Ask the old man what's in the attic. The old man answers, it's a cramped room with a low ceiling. It's used for storage. You swallow hard and set a foot on the stairs. Oh, God. What did you go to prison for? You know. Robbing a rich person? Yeah. Yeah, we'll go with that. Oh, asking Bugs? Yeah. Yeah, Bugs probably has a more interesting track record than me. Go check the attic. As you begin climbing the stairs to the attic, the door slowly opens right before you. Actually, that's what Bugs went to prison for. One of the parents of one of the Christian boys that Bugs corrupted, they sued her. And she had to get jail time for teasing virgin Christian boys with the intent to turn them into socialists or some shit. Or melting flock cameras, that too. Woman appears, her hood pulled low over her face. Mary, thank goodness it's me, Hilrevi. Woman shifts her hood aside and reveals her face. Hi? You know this woman. It's Hilrevi, the nun you spent 4 years with at Holm Abbey. Hey, gifted fortune teller. For her work as a nun, Hilrevi has been in the royal capital Erishing for the last few years. You... They're illegal? Yeah, so I definitely don't have a few. Yeah, no. No one would ever have one of those. Not here. Not on this, I was gonna say patriotic stream, but no, fuck the US. Fuck Flock. Fuck a lot of things. ICE. TERFs. Transphobes. Homophobes. President Pedo. Fuck it all. Ask why she came here. Ask where she came from. Ask about Abyss Holm. Ask where she came from. She says she's from the safe zone in the city's north, enclosed by the city wall. Oh, are all the rich people there? Well, this dork wasn't, but... Ask why you came here. Or no, the situation outside, yeah. She says the undead have gathered around this house, but the street she came from was clear. So yeah, the undead have gathered around this house. How the hell did dumbass get in here? Then she proposes, let's head for the safe zone in the north of the city via the street on the other side. Hearing what Hilrevi had to say, you consider... Head for the safe zone in the north, escape by moving over the rooftops. Moving over the rooftops might be a good call. What spells do I do? Cast light and unlock. What if I trip and fall off a roof? I mean, the rooftops are the safest place in the zombie apocalypse. You decided it would be best to travel over the rooftops, the way Hilrevi did to get here. After talking it over, you decide to move from house to house over the rooftops, then cross the street, take the shortest route to the city wall, climb the flanking tower, and enter the safe zone. Watchtower jutting out from the city wall, or castle wall. This flanking tower makes it easier to shoot at enemies trying to scale it. Green ones are very powerful, but you do apparently have to be very careful when using them, not to have them reflect off the lens and damage your own eyes. Yeah. We should be very careful to not accidentally order any from Alibaba in a bulk order of stickers and toys. Or of the science experiment toys. Yeah, no, don't do that. Don't do that. Flanking tower is a tower built into the city wall, with stairs inside that lead up onto the top of the wall. If you make your way along the wall above, you should have almost no contact with the undead. Also, you know, just more things that you shouldn't do. You definitely shouldn't wear a mask when doing this, and you definitely shouldn't leave your phone somewhere else while doing it, because they definitely don't have the ability to track your phone. So yeah, just, you know, if you're going to hypothetically be doing any of these things, do not bring a phone, and probably bring a mask. I haven't seen any either, him, but I'm kind of out here in the, not in the middle of nowhere, but, you know. Leave it to me, Hilrevi says, volunteering to guide the way.
What? 問題発生じゃ。このままゆっくりとその本を読んでおっては、今に亡者どもの大集団がここいら一帯になだれ込んできて、脱出が完全に不可能になってしまう。
You interrupted my story.
この家を抜け出し、ある場所にたどり着いてもらわんといかん。
Have the book's contents changed since last time? Saw on the day a new one a block from my house. Fucking trash. Yeah. Yeah. Have the book's contents changed since last time?
その通りじゃ。まあ、ぐずぐずしているようには思えんかったが、こうなっては仕方あるまい。ここと本の中の世界は微妙につながっとる。したがって、本の中で急がんといかん場合は、この世界でも急がんといかん。皆を救うには、この世界で今から3分以内に事を終わらせることじゃ。
Holy shit!
では始めるぞ。
3 minutes starting now?
何 ?3 分測るのが面倒じゃと良いものがある。これじゃ。これは3分間だけを測れる。その名も3分時計じゃ。3分しか測れんのじゃが、オーガが踏んでも壊れんかったし。
Okay, how does that help me?
冬のシメルビアグ山の頂上でも止まらんかった。寒さにも強い時計じゃ。まあ今は関係ないでな。では始まりじゃ。
You and the others climb onto the roof through the attic window and decide to move to the next house by crossing rooftops. There's a small gap in the next roof. An adult could jump it. It looks hard for a child or anyone with limited mobility. Looking around, you spot a board nailed over a dormer window on the next roof just to the right side. You can pry it off and use it as a bridge. First, you must leap to the next roof. Use the die to test your luck. Check the result to see whether you make it. It's 5. 2 to 6. Crash! You leap to the next roof with ease. You quickly pry the large board off the dormer window, bridge it to the roof you came from, and test it. It wobbles a little, but it should hold. Using the board, you cross several rooftops in quick succession and reach a house on the opposite street. What will you do next? From the roof's edge... Break the dormer window and enter the house. You smash the window and climb inside. The silence speaks volumes. No one is here. You hurry down to the first floor. It must have belonged to someone who kept a very tidy home. Everything is neatly arranged and feels spotless. All at once, you notice a gaudily bound book and a letter on the table by the front door. Skim the book. Shioni Yorishim's short story collection 1, The Painter. The man was a poor, lonely painter. Every landscape he painted was beautiful, yet none of them sold. For days he hadn't eaten a single meal. At this rate, he would soon die. An atheist until then, he prayed to God for the first time. My life has been nothing but misery, and now you would take even my life? Please grant me happiness. Just then, something fell from the sky and struck his head. Thunk, an apple. He scanned the sky, but there was nothing. Was this happiness? Biting into the apple, the man thought, one apple could never fill his stomach. If he was going to wish for something, he wanted a whole basketful. I thought you said you were gonna fucking skim it! He usually painted only landscapes, but his hunger was so fierce that his brush moved only at the command of desire. Painted a picture of many apples. As always, he set the apple painting beside his landscapes in a busy spot in the city. Before long, an apple seller pulled up with a hand cart and stopped right in front of him. Well now, what delicious looking apples. How about it? Would you trade that picture for this basket? Without the seller showed him a basket brimming with apples, the starving man traded his apple painting for the pile of apples. He must have been truly famished. He devoured the entire basket in no time. Even then, his hunger was not satisfied. He was hungry. He wanted to eat more than anything. No, at all. No, if possible, a lavish meal. He painted a picture of a lavish dinner, and not long after, he set out painting on the street. Two men stopped in their tracks. This picture is the same as the other dishes on our menu. The fat man said as he peered at the painting, "You're right. Well then, I'll buy it and give it to you." The thin man said, "This wouldn't be fair to you." They went back and forth for a while, but in the end, the thin man paid the price and handed the lavish dinner painting at the fat man. The fat man studied the painting closely, then said to the painter, "This is exactly the kind of painting I wanted. If you would like, why not have the same very meal at my restaurant?" "Well, really? Well, yes, gladly." The man answered at once. A thought occurred to him. One after another, the very things he painted were becoming his. Had his prayer reached God? He never imagined such luck would come pouring in. What should he paint next? Deciding he'd think what he ate. After he ate, the man went to the restaurant. "We'd been expecting you. This way, please." It was a fine restaurant. Couples and families filled the place and seemed to be the only one eating alone in silence. Even a lavish meal tasted like nothing when eaten alone, but he didn't have a single friend. He envied the camaraderie of the men who had bought the painting earlier that day. So he painted a picture of lots of friends and sold it on the street. A few men gathered around. "Hey, that looks like us." They liked the painting and bought it. The men were drinking buddies on their way out of the usual tavern. "Want to drink with us?" The man went to the tavern as invited, and just like that, he gained as many as 12 friends. Of course, this was certain now. If a painting sold, he would obtain what he had painted. His landscapes must have sold. There had been no way to obtain them. The man became a regular at the tavern in a circle of friends group. 3 minutes had passed. The clock automatically rewinds time by 3 minutes whenever 3 minutes pass. Quite a breakthrough. Okay. 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 Okay, I missed that. You little shit. You didn't even tell me it was gonna reset. Okay, shut up. Shut up, you. I'm pissed at you. It's really impressive. I think Quasi reading out loud for hours every day really leveled them up. Oh, I could always do this. I will hydrate. When I was young, I would, for fun, fake being an auctioneer. You know, say stuff like, "We have a beautiful jewel beetle on display. Do I hear 500? Do I hear 500 from the lady in the back with the Ask Me About Bug shirt? 500 from the lady in the back. Do I hear 700? Do I hear 700 from the lady over there with the OnlyFans shirt? 700? 700 from the lady in the OnlyFans shirt." You and the others climb onto the roof through the attic window and decide to move to the next house by crossing rooftops. There's a small gap to the next roof. An adult would jump it, but it looks hard for a child, or anyone with limited mobility. Okay. Check the result. It's 3. We can go. You leap to the next roof with ease. You quickly pry the large board off the dormer window, bridge it to the roof you came from, and test it. It wobbles a little, but it should hold. Using the board, you cross several rooftops in quick succession and reach a house on the opposite street. What will you do next? Break the window. Yep. Okay. So don't read that stupid book again. I'll read the letter. Letter reads as follows. It read, "To Father, I'm sending you the book I wrote, and just as you said, Prince Nut, Euron's crowned prince and heir apparent, yet wholly unloved, seems to be an imposter. As the recent audience at the castle, his blonde wig slipped and black hair showed underneath. 5 gold coins were tucked into the letter. Ooh. Revi urges you, let's hurry. Go outside. Crack the door and peer outside. There's no one dead in sight. You slip across the street and check for danger. It seems safe. You turn back and beckon. Revi takes the rear guard, but the injured, Gildy, the old man, and the child travel is slow. As you move along the street and come to where you can see the entrance to the flanking tower, you spot a lone undead. If it's only one, head for the flanking tower. Looks like you misjudged. From hidden corners, one undead appears, then another and another. There are at least 5. You'd better detour. Detour. Took a little time, but you safely reached the entrance. Right. Oh, we did it! I saved everyone! I did it!
お前さんと同じ世界の友人が作ってくれたんじゃ。名をフラメルとか言ったかの。まあいい。それからどうなったんじゃ?
Flamel. The entrance door to the flanking tower seems to be locked. What do you do, my friend? I would like to save first off, because we have not saved since the prologue. Toss the child across the roof, push the old man off the roof, and let the zombie ease him while you escape. No, I gotta save everyone, you know? I gotta be good. My job here. Pry it open together, well, obviously cast an unlocking spell. The door shatters with a thunderous crash. At the same time, a nausea-inducing stench of rot hits you and big men burst out. They're living dead soldiers in iron armor. You've got an old man, a child, and even an injured companion, yet there are at least 3 of them. What do you do? I mean, if those are in there, that probably means there's more, right? At least 3. I mean, I could just cast some magic to really kill them, but... I think running might be our best bet. Running. Even if you break through the ones ahead, the undead will keep crawling out of the tower one after another. There must be 20 or more. Yeah, that's what I thought. When you look back, my friend, you spot undead behind you too. You're surrounded. Don't give up. Think! As you refuse to give up, thinking, there must be another way, countless arrows skewer the undead behind you. At the same time, you hear a voice barking orders. It seems reinforcements have arrived. A powerful man's voice rings out. Soldiers bearing great shields line up to form a flawless defensive wall, thrusting long spears between the shields to pick off the remaining undead. Yeah, phalanx formation! This is so strong! Behind them, more soldiers of the same kind march in layered ranks. A mounted man who seems to be their commander signals for you to fall back. You fall back as the soldiers surge forward, moving away from the flanking tower. So that's a phalanx. They're well trained, Hilrevi murmurs, impressed. The undead are cut down one after another, and safety is secured. It seems you were truly saved. Phalanx vs. Zombies is something I would want to watch. There was like, a game I saw at some point that was like... It was zombie apocalypse, but it was set in like ancient Rome. So that was interesting. And it delved into that a little bit. There was also the Korean series I watched that was a Korean zombie apocalypse specifically set in like, you know, medieval times basically. Revi expresses her heartfelt gratitude to the man commanding the soldiers. You follow her lead and thank him as well. Ah, it's Knut. I've heard this name before. Kirt says, a man named Havelock requested aid from my order to rescue you. Yeah, I'm a Grey Witch. Kirt studies your appearance with a skeptical look. After a moment, Kirt speaks. At Kirt's command, the knights fall into formation and escort you to the city safe zone. Based on your action and choices, you gain 85 XP! That's almost a level up. Would you like to save your adventure? Yeah. Of course I would. Between the dark, cold houses, you see a reddening sky and a huge castle. Just then, Kirt rides up on horseback and speaks to you. Obsidian? Ah, Vlad took it over. The Dark Castle. Sure thing, Yin said. Look, bugs! Look at the list of bugs. They even have like parasites and stuff.
この世界にやってきたある訪問者ホルガーが人類に魔法をもたらした。ホルガーの振るうその強大な魔法は世界を豊かにした。
So where did you come from?
それ以上に
You just said you came from somewhere else.
その争いを止めるため、ホルガーの子孫らが各地に散らばり国を作った。各地の支配者となった子孫らは密約により定期的な戦争を引き起こし、
Stirring up wars at set intervals?
民衆を管理しておる。
Ew.
まさしく剣と魔法の世界じゃな。
Intentionally making people fight to keep population under control?
この町はユラン国の王都エリシング。世界に突き出した天然の要塞のようなところじゃ。この世界に魔法をもたらした者が最初に降り立った場所でもある。人口は約2万人。お前さんの住む世界と比べれば少なく感じるかもしれんが。
This does make me want to read a fantasy series.
では本に戻るとしよう。お前さんたちは騎士隊の隊長キリッツに率いられ、王都エリシングの中で最も安全な区画にたどり着いた。
Big map in the front of the book vibes? Exactly. Exactly. I should just continue my Robert Jordan series that I had started, but god damn, that thing is long. And I need to get the new books for it. At this point I might just wait until I move to the city we're moving to and then just get like a library card. There. We'd go to our library here, but it's kind of a pain, this one. So you pass through the heavily guarded gate, Havelock runs up. You believed you were safe. You thank him for calling the knights. Leading Hilrevi, Gildy, the old man, and his family deeper into the city. I'm still worried about that one that was bit by the zombie just being allowed in here, because now we're going to start a zombie apocalypse inside the safe zone because I let that stupid asshole in. Kiritz calls out and stops you. Seems Kiritz, impressed by Paneri's skill, wants her to join a certain operation. Be modest, boast. I'll be modest. I never boast. You answer, I just got lucky. Kiritz grins and counters, you won't win on luck alone. Yoran's eldest princess. After King Rolf died, she was placed in Tista's Abbey in northern Yoran. Ah, yeah, just putting, you know, daughters and stuff in the abbey when you have no use for them. Yeah, that's monarchy's MO. That being said, though, especially, you know, in medieval times and things, a lot of the times noble women would just join the abbey so that they wouldn't have to have an arranged marriage to some stupid fucker that they don't even care about and be forced to pump out babies for the rest of their life. And if you had to ask me if I had to marry someone I'd fucking hate and would treat me like shit, or just go and fake being religious for the rest of my life in an abbey, then I'd probably pick the abbey. Also, then you hold the you have the opportunity to try and be a diviner, and then you can get some real power as a woman in medieval ages. It is still being done in some places, yeah. It is indeed, which is depressing. I'd gather 250 store soldiers. Most of them have little. I'll accept. This looks taken aback by how quickly you answer. You can think it over, he says with a smile. Any questions? About the living dead.
動く死体のことか。あれはこの王とエリシングの民だ。9日前、いや、それより以前かもしれん。流行り病があってな。その後死亡した者が次々と人を襲う化け物に変わった。町は混乱に陥り、そこかしこで殺戮が起こったそうだ。
Yeah, that sounds about right for a zombie apocalypse.
今では城内に詰めていた騎士団本部とも連絡が取れず、すでにこの町は無秩序な状態だ。
Oh yeah, I almost posted it in the Discord earlier, but then I didn't. The incident at Galley House, that is doing fucking numbers for the Stream Archive channel. Like, it's doing as well as, like, stuff on the main channel, like a good series on the main channel. Which is, nice to see, because that was a really fun game.
おそらくこの区画より外には誰も生き残っておるまい。我々は現在クヌート王子の指揮の下で動いている。
Prince Canute. About the city's ruin.
まったくどうしてこうなったのか。半年前、王都南部で謎の熱病が流行り始めた。日が経つにつれ、病人は増える一方だった。そこで魔女イヌボーグの作った治療薬が配られたのだ。
The way this particular character talks and the cadence with which they are speaking, for some reason just makes me think of like a side story character explaining something to me in the Yakuza game. I guess the side stories really didn't have like voice acting, but it's like some character that's giving you exposition in a Yakuza game. I don't know why. It makes me think of it. Not just because it's Japanese, but...
しかし、病は広がり続け、3ヶ月後には町の半数が病気にかかってしまった。はじめは病の原因が不明であったが、ホルム修道院から来た修道女が町を流れる飲用水に毒物が混じっているのを見つけた。
Poisoning the drinking water. Kefka's been here.
しかも、その毒物は魔女の作った薬にも入っていたのだ。この件を受けて、摂政のトエルギ様はすぐさま魔女を捕らえた。そして、新たな薬を他の魔術師に作らせ、病人に配った。しかし、新たな薬の効果が間に合わなかったのか、それとも他の魔術師も魔女の手先だったのか、真相はわからないが、現状を見る限り最悪の結果になってしまった。
I do find myself wondering if possibly the witch was framed and that's gonna be like what's going on here. Cause I don't know. That all seems a little bit convenient. About the witch.
魔女か。お前とて知らぬはずはあるまい。物語やおとぎ話にも登場するあの魔女、イヌボーグ本人だ。1年前、イヌボーグは宮廷魔術師として王城に迎えられた。理由は我が国の権威の問題でな。今の王家には残念ながら魔法を行使できる御仁がない。他方、隣国の王といえば魔法使いばかりだ。そのことを問題視したルーラー教のエーリク司祭の働きかけでその運びとなったのだ。
Eric, priest of the ruler church who urged the court to take Ingeborg as its court mage. Narcania has 3 major faiths. Its creed, obeying God's will is everything. I see. So one of the churches of the 3 religions is the one that urged them to take them as the court mage.
イヌボーグの宮廷入りは他国に対する牽制になるだろうと。これが間違いのもとだった。イヌボーグは我が国を滅ぼそうとしている悪鬼だったのだ。物語は夢物語だったし、おとぎ話とはよく言ったものだ。だがこれも今は捕らえられ、牢獄の中で死を待つのみとなっている。ただ、あれは化け物なのだ。俺はあの時確かに。だから檻の中とて 油断してはならない。
Oh, wow. Yeah, you seem a little bit obsessed. No questions.
あの魔女が来てから国はおかしくなった。蔓延する病、城に怪物が出るとの噂、隣国の侵略。数日前まで俺はトエルギ様の命で国境付近に出ていた。領内に侵攻中のルシファング軍の動きをつかむためだった。だがこの情報はおそらく虚偽だ。俺は城を離れるべきではなかった。すべて魔女の策謀に違いない。城に出入りしていたお前と同行していたあの学士の話では、すでにトエルギ様は亡くなられたと聞いている。だがリーグモル王女は監禁されてはいるが、ご無事とのことだ。
Lord Toergi has already passed away. If Lord Toergi has already passed away, then they should really give, like, you know, do like a special election or something to, you know, get a different person in that Senate. I mean Lord seat. You know? Why are we stalling on replacing Lord Toergi?
王女は今は亡きロルフ陛下のご息女で、トエルギ様の命にあたる方だ。我々は明日暗黒城より王女をお救いする。もう一度言うが、お前の手を貸してもらいたい。救出が成功すれば無論褒美を出すぞ。
I'll be rewarded. He also says, I want you to come by the Knights' headquarters later. You, Okirts, go with Knights to find Abbess Holm. I mean, I do feel like I owe you a bit. Probably you're the ones who saved my life. I want to repay that debt. The captain says that helps.
詳しい話は騎士隊本部でさせてくれ。そこにクヌート陛下もおられるのでな。
I don't totally trust them, but we'll see. What will you do now? Choose where you want to go. Ooh. Oh, this is so, like, interestingly displayed. So I can go to the tavern or the inn? Look at all the stuff. Oh, this is fun. The fact that we're in, like, a walled-off city and then it says, like, outside safe zone and stuff also has me thinking of, like, the little bits that I've seen of Yakuza Dead Souls as well, though. So neat, I love it. I agree. I love this kind of stuff that tries to replicate that, tabletop feel. Let's go to the tavern. You enter a tavern whose sign read Eruda. Inside is packed with cheerful customers. The owner apparently says, we're leaving this city anyway, and opens up the casks in his cellar for free! Aw, shit, free wine and beer? People gather here must be enjoying themselves more than usual, trying to blow away the gloom. You catch the scent of ale, hear music and laughter, and from a table in the back you hear someone call your name. It's Havelock. Across from him sits Gildy. The two seem to be sharing drinks, snacking on boiled peas. You thank Havelock again for helping you earlier. He says, Puneria was the one who helped you first. Bathed in the lamp's orange light, both Havelock and Gildy look rosy-cheeked. Havelock especially until now, the image you had of him was all tight, pent-up tension. So seeing him able to catch his breath like this makes him seem quite different. I'm sure there's a lot of people that would be willing to help Havelock relieve this tight, pent-up tension. Boiled peas? That's what I thought. Like, when I saw that, I was like, I feel like edamame would make more sense. Like, just, you know, as a snack to have at a table in a bar or something. That'd be a good snack. As you pull out a chair, you ask Gildy, is your leg alright? Gildy stands up, rubbing his leg, and says, I'm fine now. Havelock asks, how'd you hurt your leg? He answers, this morning I was fleeing the castle when an undead bit me. Ask if Gildy will become undead. Think his wound healed too fast. I do kind of agree. Healed a little fast. You figured the quick recovery must be thanks to Hilrevi's magic potions. Pouring ale into your cup, Havelock asks, you said you left the castle this morning. What were you doing before that? Gildy says, I was in the castle's dungeon until this morning. To be exact, I was thrown in 8 days ago. The day the whole castle went into an uproar, like someone stirred up a hornet's nest. You take a sip of the ale, but you can barely taste it. Your mind is on what comes next. Gildy goes on, and this morning there wasn't a soul left in the castle, not even the guards, so I left my cell. Ask why he was in prison, ask what happened in the castle 8 days ago. You didn't tell me before, why were you imprisoned? When you ask why you're in prison, Gildy begins his story. Well, the truth is... Don't listen, it sounds long, listen to the story. Now we're gonna listen. Gildy says he used to live in Elsesrag in southern Iran, getting by on burglary and pickpocketing. Life was desperate and hopeless, but by chance the tavern keeper he'd gotten to know let him try a harpsichord. From then on, he spent his days playing the harpsichord at the tavern. More and more people came to hear him, and his life slowly started to improve. Then one day, the man whose home Gildy had robbed long ago happened to show up at the tavern and beat him in revenge. You could call it what he had coming, but the tavern owner who tried to protect Gildy was hurt so badly he could no longer work. To earn money, Gildy fell back into theft, and then... He heard word of two things, that the national treasure called the Golden Eye was said to be here in Erishing, and that the renowned witch Ingeborg was looking for a court musician. Gildy left Elsesrag at once, went to Ingeborg, and showed off his harpsichord skills. Pleased with the performance, Ingeborg hired him on the spot. While working as a musician, Gildy also scouted the castle and planned on how to steal the Golden Eye. This is some big national treasure shit. I mean, they straight up said national treasure earlier, but... When the current chaos erupted, I thought it was a once-in-a-lifetime chance and stole the Golden Eye, but I was called on the spot, he says. Just you wait. Next time I'll steal it for real, he says, miming both hands pounding on a keyboard. Wait, what? Hey, how do you know what a keyboard is? I guess they just mean you're like slamming your heads down on the desk. Or like keyboard is in like an instrument keyboard. Gildy points at Havelock and says, now let's hear your story. Havelock seems caught off guard at being put on the spot, but after meeting your eyes, he begins to speak slowly. You. Listen! Havelock's earliest memory seems to be walking through a dark forest at night with the witch Ingeborg. Harpsichord keyboard? Oh, does it have a keyboard? I was thinking of a different instrument for that, I guess. I'm familiar with the word, but I guess in my brain I had the wrong idea of what it actually was. Ingeborg, he learned all manner of skills and knowledge, from swordplay and horsemanship to the art of conversation and arithmetic. One night, several years later, they were caught up in some incident and were separated. In the neighboring country of Lucifang, Havelock was captured by slavers and eventually sold as a gladiator. After that came endless days of life or death battles in the arena. There's a game I remember renting from the rental store when I was a kid that I was obsessed with, even though I probably shouldn't have been playing it at that age. I think it was called like Gladiator Road to Freedom or something like that, and it was just like an RPG kind of action game, I guess, where you were a gladiator trying to fight for your freedom. And it was just like, yeah, you could buy equipment, you could do like exhibition matches to get like better stuff, and then you slowly move up through the ranks. It was very hard, and I only rented it like twice due to that, but I remember having a fun time with it, and I've never heard anyone speak of this game. Probably because it wasn't very good, but I don't know, it was one of those games has stayed in my head. Over the next few years, he painstakingly saved his prize money, bought his own freedom, and became free. The reason he did so was this. He had heard a rumor that the witch Ingeborg had rebelled in this Erishing, and that she had been captured. Havelock says the reason he came to the city is to find out whether the witch Ingeborg is truly the same witch he knew. Gildy pauses, thinking, and says, I see. And then Gildy asks you next. I like how their RP's disappearing. So why did you come to this city? You briefly explain your background and what brought you here. Gildy says he saw someone who seemed to be Abbess Holm in the castle chapel, but that was about 3 months ago. All of a sudden, Gildy stares intently at your face. I'm not taking off my glasses. The glasses stay on for everything. Except for sleep. Because then you, like, you know, have the weirdness of, oh, well, there's glasses on your face, and you might hurt your glasses while you're moving around and stuff. But especially, my glasses are so cute. Recall something about these glasses. You recall the words of Abbess Holm, who gave you these glasses. Wear these glasses at all times. Never take them off except when you sleep. You obey that instruction and refuse to remove them. Ooh. That's a shame. I think you're more charming without glasses. How about you mind your own fucking business, Gildy? Why do you want me to take off my glasses that my mentor told me to always keep on? Huh? Maybe I don't give a shit about what you think about how I look. As he says that, something about Gildy's eye feels off. You think there's no emotion in that eye? You think that eye is dead. They keep saying eye like you only have one eye. I mean, the other eye is covered by your hair, but you think that eye is dead. I think Gildy's blue eye has no light in it, like a dead man's. It looks like a finely made fake. As you stare at Gildy's eye, I mean, it's not a glass eye? He says, heterochromia. Okay, it is a glass eye. Okay, so you did only have one, you know, real eye. Oh, this eye. It's actually a glass eye. Pretty well made, right? He opens it wide, then shows you the other eye had been hiding in his hair. When Havelock asks why he hides his real eye, Gildy says... And besides, this eye sees too well? Golden eye stands out. Oh no, Oodles. Gildy might be a werewolf. Might be a werewolf. That would explain why you haven't turned into a zombie. If you already have lycanthropy, you're immune to the other things. Usually how it goes. Usually can't mix like lycanthropy and vampirism together and zombification and stuff. Goldeneye? Yeah, no, he's about to pull out the golden gun. Right. Havelock, I've got a favor to ask, Gildy says, as if he's just remembered. You'll excuse me, he says, and leads Havelock away. They're gonna go bone. Just then, as he passes by, Hilrevi comes over to the table. Seems Hilrevi has been treating the little girl who came in earlier along with her mother. I love the look of you. The short hair and the blue eyes. It's so cute. Ask about Gildy's injury. When you ask about Gildy's leg injury, Hilrevi looks puzzled and says, I tried to treat Gildy's leg, but the wound was already healed. I knew this shithead was up to something. I told you. I shouldn't have let you in. Never trust someone that can just walk up to a door that had tons of zombies outside of it. Never. I should have let your ass die out there. You jerk. Even though there were fresh bloodstains on his clothes, not even a scar remained. When she asked what had happened, he apparently said, Paneri treated me. You. Tell Hilrevi I didn't treat him. That's true, then how did he heal the wound, Hilrevi says. When it comes to injuries, you remember Abbess Holmes' remarkable healing skills. Hilrevi must have been thinking the same thing. So about Abbess Holm, Hilrevi begins. Says that 3 months ago, right after Abbess Holm entered the castle, she was no longer able to meet her. At the time, with the uproar over Ingeborg's revolt, even when Hilrevi went to the castle in person, she was turned away at the gate. However, before long, letters from Abbess Holm began to reach Hilrevi through people connected to the castle. Letters said, I'm fine, so don't worry, and after that, they continued exchanging letters from time to time. But starting 2 weeks ago, the replies stopped coming. She also lost contact with the castle's people. Were the letters really from Abbess Holm? When you ask whether the one exchanging letters was truly Abbess Holm herself, Hilrevi says, now I can't say for sure, but she adds, the handwriting was definitely her. And 7 days ago, Hilrevi sent a letter to the abbey where Paneri was, saying that the abbess had gone missing. Interesting. Ask her if her best divination can find the abbess? Whoever answers, but no matter how many times I divine it, it says the abbess's whereabouts are unknown. I'm gonna try to think positively. Trying to stay positive, you decide to believe Abbess Holm has already left the castle and is hiding. Revi says, I'll go back to my room and try divining again tomorrow. Or divining again right now. When she stands up, see you tomorrow. Just then, you feel the ground trembling. Earthquake? Is it an earthquake? The shaking stops at once. The tavern suddenly goes silent. Yeah, that guy's a werepire? I'm scared. As ever, the tavern is still crowded. What do you do, my friend? What, are we not going to talk about the thing that happened? I'm gonna get drunk. You pour ale into your cup and down it in one go. Warmth spreads through your body. You feel good. Restore 1 stamina point. What is stamina? Is that like my HP? Because stamina's I normally associate with, like, you know, Souls games and stuff, quite frankly. Talk to the tavern keeper. I wonder if I can get my character drunk. I'm gonna flip the coin. Just because you can. Talk to the tavern keeper. Owner says, I don't recognize you, so you tell him what's happened so far. It's a rough break, but without this zone, who knows what would have happened to you by now, the owner says, then continues. Half a year ago, a plague spread through the city's drinking water. Everyone who died from it turned into a monster, he says. Head to bed, have a good stream. Later, Binary. Hope you have a good night's sleep in time zone and all that. He laughs. Folks in this zone live on booze. Booze over water for a bunch of drunks like us, so we didn't get sick. Closing up shop tomorrow. I've got bread and cheese too. Enjoy yourself tonight. At the end, his face turns a little lonely. What do you do? Buy bread and cheese. How much? The booze is free, but I charge for food. A binner bowler? A very crisp, clean-biting bread. Butter is layered into the dough before shaping. Baking separates butter and dough, creating many airy layers and a light texture. Rice broth? Large, hefty white loaf with a surprisingly light bite. Made mostly from wheat flour with a little rye mixed in. It goes well with almost anything. Slice it a bit thick and fill it with whatever you like. Tin bread? Loaf baked by the Dancing White Horse's inn owner in a large tin mold. Because the mold is open at the top, the dough swells like a mound as it rises. Baked without a lid, moisture in the dough evaporates, giving it a light, crisp bite. Emmental cheese? Firm cow's milk cheese with signature holes and a toasty, nutty aroma. It melts easily. Locals often heat it up and dip bread in it. Ew, blue cheese! I hate blue cheese! A salty sheep's milk blue cheese, aged with blue mold that forms marble-like patterns. Its bold flavor pairs well with sweet, botrytized wine or fruity red wine. I'm gonna not. I want to check out the weapon shop first, I think. Eavesdrop on the owner and a customer. A well-dressed elderly man asked the tavern keeper, where is Baron Bitsakam? Powerful Yaran noble who grew fabulously rich by monopolizing sales of the rare Ruby of Destruction. He's here until a moment ago, but he's already gone home. He said he was meeting someone, so I rented him the room upstairs, the tavern keeper replies. The elderly man grumbles, always making excuses and running away. He won't sit down and talk at all. Baron Bitsakam is leaving the city, the tavern keeper says. The elderly man mutters, I think we ought to leave this city. I'm gonna eavesdrop on customers. Listen in on a conversation between a chubby man and a tall, skinny man. Chubby man says, you ever heard of that thief Golden Gerda or Gilda or whatever? Who only goes after gold-colored stuff? Man replies, yeah, I've heard the rumors. Say he's got a thing for gold. The man says, a couple days back I heard the Golden Gerda, if that's what he's called, broke into the castle to steal and the knights nabbed him. The man says, huh. He's probably in the castle dungeon by now. I heard he steals from the rich and hands it out to the poor. The man says, a noble thief, huh? Being swept up in this catastrophe, that's probably the end of him. Okay. I think I'm good now. Let's leave. Unless that's like new stuff that triggers. Okay, so the White Horse Inn. You're led by curates to an inn called the Dancing White Horse Inn. When you open the door painted with vivid flowers, the innkeeper calls out, you wouldn't happen to be Paneri? Look at you! When you tell him yes, he shows you to your room and asks, are you going to rescue the princess tomorrow? That's... I probably have no choice. That's so, the innkeeper says, looking a little taken aback. When you tell him you aren't from the city, he adds, the princess is greatly respected around here. Please, somehow save her. He suggested again, there are people staying here who fled from the castle. Why not ask them about it? Ask a waterworks engineer. Yeah, I can go in through the sewers! That's a JRPG classic on how to get into a castle. You come to the door of the room where the waterworks engineer who used to come and go at the castle is staying. The moment you knock, you hear hurried footsteps and a young woman peeks out. Fatigue and something you couldn't quite name are written all over her face. Is that Princess Peach? Or I guess it looks more like Daisy, but wearing Peach's outfit. You briefly explained the reason for your visit. I see, so you're not with the knights. She speaks haltingly, her face clearly clouded with worry. When you explain the situation, she says, I don't know much about the castle. My friend does, but unfortunately he's out right now. A few days ago, her friend went to his home, saying he was going to retrieve food and valuables, and he hasn't returned since. It's a shop called Marius Construction, just outside the southern Hindle Gate. I've asked the knights to search too, but nothing's come of it. She says, you? Ask what the waterworks engineer looks like. She says her friend is wearing a red vest and a red hat. You... I'll go look for your friend. Young woman bows to you again and says, please. Ask the castle housekeeper. Go to the room where the housekeeper who fled is staying. When you knock, a woman appears with a grave expression. She introduces herself as Mita, the castle's head maid. What happened at the castle? According to her, 10 days ago, word came that the army of Lucifang had surrounded the city and the atmosphere in the castle changed completely. Most of the knights were sent out all over the place, so at night the castle was just so quiet. So quiet. It was the next day that Mita was scared out of her wits, twice. Reports that people had seen monsters came in one after another. Back then, everything just rushed past me in a blur. 2 days later, 3 bodies, slaughtered by some unknown hand, were found in the castle gardens. And the entire staff, Mita included, fled the castle, unable to bear the terror any longer. Mita is cooperative. You may ask her more questions. Ask about the witch. Lowering her voice, Mita whispers that the witch Ingeborg is a terrifying person. First time she saw Ingeborg, she thought she was a noble lady full of grace and dignity. She didn't look like the sort of lady who'd cause anything like this, Mita continues, growing animated. 3 months ago, a proclamation went out. Ingeborg has been imprisoned on suspicion of treason. Her confinement in the dungeon lasted only a few days. Afterwards, she was kept under house arrest in her own room. Glancing around nervously, Mita says, there's something I haven't told anyone. I saw it. I saw that witch talking to a dog's severed head, and I saw her drawing the soul out of someone. Anything else you want to ask? Okay. I wish there was like a journal for me to write some of this stuff down, but I imagine my character's going to remember it. Abba's home. She says she knows that about 3 months ago, someone who seemed to be the abbess had an audience with the witch Ingeborg. But she knows nothing about what happened after that. Seemed to be the abbess. Okay. Duktergi? He's been acting strange since last year. He started shutting himself in his room more and more, and lately she hardly saw him at all. When we fled the castle, we looked for Duke Twergi, but he wasn't anywhere, she says. Anything else? She says, I'd rather not talk about it. You... I'm gonna stop asking questions. Maybe I do? No. Have 10 gold. When you enter 10 gold coins, Mita begins. Actually, I saw it. Those 3 bodies I mentioned earlier, the ones slaughtered by some unknown hand. They were Baron Bitsakan's family who governed this zone. The 3 bodies found in the castle courtyard. I mean, I don't really feel bad for a powerful noble who grew fabulously rich by monopolizing the sale of a rare ruby of destruction. That doesn't sound like somebody I'm going to feel bad for, but... It was so shocking that Mita says she still hasn't been able to tell Baron Bitsakam herself. Okay. Stop asking questions. Think Mita, she answers modestly, if I could be of any help. Go elsewhere. It's not nap time yet. I do need to drink, though. Ugh. Knights HQ. This is a ruler church chapel, but for now it serves as a hastily assembled Knights headquarters. Interesting. So you enter the austere building, Kurtz appears. Glad you came, he says, then leads you to the great hall on the 2nd floor. Inside Kurtz and several knights stand in lines along both sides. At the far end sits a nobleman with a truly magnificent paunch. He is His Highness Prince Knut. The kingdom's crown prince, you... That's a haunch! Also, my god, the haircut. Show due respect to royalty, though unwilling. Pretend to be rude. I really don't want to. But this says pretend to be rude. Can't I just be rude in general? I don't want to pretend. I'm gonna pretend to be rude. Deliberately sweep your gaze around the room, putting on an act as though you can't quite seem to notice His Majesty Canute. Kiritz deliberately clears his throat to get your attention, then introduces Canute. For a brief exchange of greetings, Kiritz once again asks to confirm your participation in the Princess Rescue Operation. Your answer, I will join the operation. Kiritz reads aloud your mercenary contract, formally informs you that your participation is approved, and explains the unit's formation and the place where the princess is believed to be. You receive 10 gold coins as advance pay, along with bread, a knife, a cloak, and the mercenary contract. Holy shit, my advance pay is the same amount as what I gave that lady. How do you look to His Majesty Canute? A lowborn nobody of no consequence, a free soul who decides their own fate. I mean, if it's royalty, it's probably the second one. I'm gonna say the second one. You know, I don't want to be paid attention to. His Majesty Canute, you must be a lowborn, insignificant existence. His eyes on you are strangely vacant, as if his mind is elsewhere. To you, His Majesty Canute looks unreliable and timid. You don't feel any royal dignity in him. He even seems out of place here. You observe more closely. His hair is golden, but his eyes look black or brown. On a closer look, his hair doesn't even seem quite natural. It even looks like a wig. Alright, Kiritz says, as if something has just come back to him. According to the testimony of someone who served at the castle until quite recently, the witch Ingeborg is already out of her cell. If that is true, then devising countermeasures is urgent. Kiritz continues. Even if the witch were to attack us, there's nothing to fear. We have preparations that withstand her magic. We will not be outdone by that witch. New Vanillaware game? This isn't actually by Vanillaware. This is someone that used to work at Vanillaware. And, you know, like, basically went solo dev and made their own game. So it has the vibes of Vanillaware art, but is not a new, like, Vanillaware game. Also, welcome in, good boy. Even if the witch were to attack us, there's nothing to fear. We have preparations that can withstand her magic. We will not be outdone by that witch. Kiritz asks you, do you have any questions? What time do we depart? Please don't be early. Okay, noon, that's fine. Got it. You have no more business here. Walk away. Okay, now we go to the inn and nap. I mean, there's nothing here to do at the tavern. I could drink more. Let's get drunk. Drink another cup of ale. Your spirit soar. Gain 5 XP. Oh shit. Holy shit, all you need to do to level up is just drink alcohol. Who knew? Who knew? What happens if I drink more? Drink yet another cup of ale. Your vision starts to blur and your strength drains away. Oh no. Now I'm drunk. I'm kind of scared to see what happens if I keep drinking, but I kind of want to see too. Probably best not to drink anymore. Oh. I was gonna get, like, I was gonna pass out. Fine. I gained 1 HP, lost 1 HP, and, what was the other thing? Oh yeah, I got XP for it. Levels up your liver damage? Ah, I see, that makes sense. Welcome back, Paneri. You... go to sleep. It's nap time. Once you reach your room, you slip straight into bed. Exhausted, you fall asleep at once. I don't know what that's like. And in the warmth of the bed, you dream that you become a bird of cold ice, like a cryo phoenix. In the dream, you freeze everything around you, leaving yourself with nowhere to go, always alone. I mean, we have the aesthetic of a cryo phoenix. At the edge of the world, you meet a bird of flame that burns all things. You become friends. That was the dream. I'm friends with Kiara. Dawn creeps in, paling the night. It seems you slept well. Thanks to the soft bed, it feels as if your wounds have completely healed. Still lying on your side, you slowly sit up and test how your body feels. You remember what happened yesterday and feel grateful to be alive. After quickly getting ready, you leave the room. Talk to the innkeeper. I'm back safe. I'll be wishing you luck. Hands you a loaf of freshly baked bread. Hey, free bread. Ask the castle housekeeper. Nothing more I can tell you. Waterworks engineer. Door opens. Did you find anything about my friend? You shake your head. I see. She closes the door. Okay. I'll be back to help. Ooh, wait. I can go everywhere now? Okay, what's... anything new at the tavern? Talk to the tavern keeper? Tavern keeper has been busy, but when he spots you, calls out. I heard you took down that stone giant. Did you take down the one at the north gate too? Alright. Thank you. My son's stationed at the north gate. He volunteered and is helping the knights. Like me, he's honest and smart. He's a son I'm truly proud of. Hate to ask, but I want you to go check on my son. As you can see, I can't step away for even a moment. Okay. You agree, the owner says thanks and goes back to serving customers. Eavesdrop? Two armored knights are eating as they talk about the regions. I heard from Commander Kiritz that Duke Tuergi may have already passed away. Yeah, I heard that too. It's from a court musician who fled the castle, so I can't vouch for it yet. Yeah, but even before the city started going mad, Lord Tuergi was acting strange. He always seemed distracted, like his mind was somewhere else. Seen him like that too. Heard from one of the servants that after you went to see the witch in the dungeon, it was like his soul had been sucked out. Oh, got some blowy in there, huh? Okay. Elsewhere. Central Plaza? You arrive at the Central Plaza. Among the many knights, Kiritz is there. You... leave. I don't want to be here yet. Weapon shop. You enter the shop, a burly-looking man calls out to you in a friendly way. Welcome to Arcbold Exchange. He's probably the owner. This looks like Guile and like a pirate had a baby. I would just say we got every weapon and piece of armor you could want, but I handed most of the stock over to the knights. The owner shrugs, looking apologetic. And the mage, they say, took down that stone giant. That's true, I'm counting on you for the one at the north gate, too. Putting his hopes on you, the shopkeeper seems willing to knock off a bit off the prices. Guile and Lieutenant Surge, yeah, I can see that. Use Thunderbolt! Let's go out the shop. Oh yeah, my cloak. The owner says he really loves this shop, but he'll probably have to close it up in a few days. I told off all the good stuff. Grumbles that it's a pain dealing with knights who throw their rank around and use emergency as an excuse. Believe it or not, I made it as far as a squire myself, he says, and adds sadly. Not that it's anything to brag about. Okay, what you got? A crossbow? Crossbow you can aim while keeping the drawstring locked in place. It fires short bolts called quarrels. Sold with a special hook, so even those with less strength can cock it. Lets you strike from long range with little risk of a counterattack. Leather armor? A women's queer woolly breastplate, boiled leather, light and cheap, yet it can resist cuts and blunts impacts to some degree. Limits movement, but you can use it. You can move quietly. Useful for stealth. So levels me down, but I get 3 defense. The hood and torso are padded with 4 thick layers. Marketed as an Arcbolt Exchange exclusive and fairly popular, but offers almost no real protection. Knife shaped for throwing. Double-edged, weight forward, low power, but can be thrown quickly to deny counterattacks. Obsidian knife. Obsidian knife napped with deer antler. Then carefully polished. Fragile, but razor sharp. A fine piece made with great skill. The handle is engraved with the maker's name. Bojangles? Like the fucking southern fast food restaurant? Why the hell is it bow time here? I don't... What? I was not prepared for Bojangles. What the hell? I mean, I think out of all these things, I want the crossbow the most. Currently, I'm apparently naked. Even though I got this sick, flowy outfit here. Wonder if I could get some more gold and afford the crossbow. If I hadn't paid that one person for information, we'd maybe be set. The manor? Such an enormous manor. When you ask a passerby, they tell you it's the estate of Baron Bitsakam. You go inside. Servant appears and turns you away. Lord Bitsakam is not in at the moment. Okay, sorry. Can I equip this, by the way? Yes. North Gate. Oh wait, I do have 10 throwing knives. Or no, a small sword. Wide-bladed dagger built for thrusting, made of low-carbon cast iron so it breaks easily. A cheap, low-quality imitation of a once-fashionable local style, mass-produced by smiths for profit. Yeah, my staff is better. Arrive at the gate. 4 knights stand watch before the gate. About 20 locals form a wide ring around them. The air here feels tense. The golem that Kirt spoke of yesterday is probably outside this gate. Talk to the knights. When you approach and call out, an older knight snaps, "What do you want?" Not exactly being polite. You. Tell him the tavern keeper sent you. You say the tavern keeper asked me to check on his son who's serving as a volunteer militiaman. One of the knights steps forward. That's me. Gives the elder knights a quick word and leads you to a quieter spot. May I have a moment? As you reach the main street, the tavern keeper's son finally speaks. Excuse me, I'm not a knight, just a volunteer, but there's something I wanted to tell you, he begins. Yesterday, 10 young men tried to flee the city through the north gate. They were attacked by the stone giant. 6 were badly injured, 2 had minor injuries, and it seemed 2 managed to escape. He says, you. Say the losses were too great, at least 2 got away. The losses were too great. He said the losses were far too great. Exactly. In the end, treating and caring for the wounded tied up more than twice that number of people. So right now, the knights are keeping people away. Told the civilians that after we rescue the princess, we'll throw everything we've got at the stone giant, but he says, you. Ask how the knights fought the golem. Ask about what happened when the knights fought the golem, as Kieran mentioned yesterday. I wasn't there myself, but I've heard the report. 7 seasoned knights fought it together, yet the number of wounded only grew, and they couldn't make a dent. Say the golem vanished from sight at times. Could it be magic? I was told it was a very formidable foe. I also heard this. The stone giant doesn't finish off the wounded. It doesn't seem to be trying to take lives. Please tell my father I'm fine, the tavern keeper's son says, then runs back towards the north gate. You have no more business. Interesting, so it's not even going to let me fight it. Tavern keeper? Tavern keeper, please. That was my son. Peter's words exactly. Your son said, please tell father I'm fine. Tavern keeper smiles. It sounds like him. Thanks, I'm relieved. Then he says, here, consider it a thank you. We'll be leaving the city within a few days anyway, and generously gives you some wine. 4 HP. Pale red wine with a fragrant aroma, made by fermenting whole grapes. Locals mainly use Pinot Noir, prized for small berries and rich scent, and improves circulation and cures illness. I don't think so. But what do I know? Magic tools and alchemical supplies. You've come to the Tromoya's Magic Shop. When you open the front door and call out, a gentle woman's voice answers from the back. Welcome, come on in. Inside feels like a shop and more like an ordinary home. Ah, look at you! So you're the mage everyone's been talking about. I'm sure I have something that'll be of use to you. Please take your time and have a good look, the shopkeeper says, settling into a chair and carefully explaining her wares. Will you buy anything? Ask about the shop. Back in her great-grandfather's day, the shop was set up in a stone tower at the edge of the dark forest, but as time passed, fewer and fewer people came by. In her father's generation, it was moved here to Erishing. This shop will end with me, she says sadly. Bye. What do we got? Ice Grimoire? Sleep Curse, Silence, Freeze, Arrow Shot. Ice Grimoire focused on rare freezing magic. The binding is fairly new, and it seems to be a copy. The first author is listed as Forest Witch Ingeborg, cast Light and Unlock. Linen magic stole, dyed green with olive leaves and branches using an iron mordant. Blessed by the wind spirit, the wearer can keenly sense the flow of air. Crystal ball, a magic item made from a sphere of crystal. By focusing your mind, you can see things you should not know. You can also gain knowledge about a target by staring at it through the crystal. Tourmaline iron staff, iron magic staff set with a blue tourmaline. It holds an electric charge strike hard to shock the target. Grip the insulated handle or you'll get shocked too. Magic staff of iron plated with gold. Heavy enough to hit like a club and stronger still when infused with magic. And cast lightning once so it activates more slowly. I mean, honestly, the Ice Grimoire and the Evasion Stole sound amazing. So just give me both of those. Okay. Nice. That's all my money. They did have potions and scrolls. I should have checked that too. Sleeping powder. Combat only. Invisibility. Sprinkle this high vibration liquid at your feet to lift you and the surrounding area into a higher dimension, hiding you from your target. It works poorly on those who bear no hostility. Interesting. Okay, spell of unlocking. Headed to the castle, you should bring some healing potion. I hear it's crawling with dreadful monsters. No, I'm good. Leave. This makes me want to play like the early Bard's Tale games. Magic shop, back alley. For a while, you leave the bright street and step into the dim back alley. Main road is a frenzy of knights and civilians rushing around to prepare for the sortie. Or the sortie. But this place is the opposite. Empty and quiet. No, you can hear voices talking from around the corner. Sneak closer. Keep out of sight and peek around the corner. Two hooded figures press a knife to a balding man, demanding money. You. Call out to them. Attack the hooded pair from behind. I'm just gonna attack them. They might try to take the hostage otherwise. Battle starts against hooded man. Oh, they're level 8. Okay. When you attack an enemy, yep. What do you do? Escape. Put the enemy to sleep. Poison. Negotiate. I feel like I can probably do this. They look creepy. They seem to be older twin thieves. Little else is known. I don't have any money to negotiate with, so that's not going to work. Let's see, you're level 8. I'm confident in my ability. Ooh, they do have high attack, though. Yeah. I'll attack again. Okay, that's a good roll. Boom. Bang. Oh, that means I win. Okay, 4 damage. Yeah, they do have a lot of health. Do have a lot of health. And if they hit me, it's going to hurt. I might have to do an explosion. I think I should just do an explosion. Flame burst. Kablamo! 17. Okay, that's more like it. Come on, let us go. We ain't young like you. The man in the brown hood pleads. We're old men with not much left, the man in the green hood adds. The thieves beg for their lives. You keep fighting. Or let them go. You can go. Two thieves immediately make themselves scarce. The man who's being threatened straightens his rumpled clothes, clears his throat once, and approaches. Did I just save a rich person? Thank you. You saved me. You have my gratitude. Bald man offers you a handshake, then saying, take this. He presses 20 gold coins into your hands and hurries off. Yep, rich. Nothing more to do. Hell, I got 20 gold for that, though. And I didn't kill the other people, so, you know, I don't feel bad. Knights HQ. Come to the knight's headquarters. The knights bustle about, making hurried preparations for the march ahead. Amid it all, one knight calls out to you. He says he has a message from His Majesty Canute. If anyone spots you, you're to come see him at once. Request an audience. You'd rather not? Okay. Okay. Heartbreaking, the man you just saved is a billionaire? Exactly. So I'd request an audience. When you go up to upstairs hall, His Majesty dismisses everyone and speaks to you in a low voice only meant for your ears. Could you defeat the golem at the north gate and get us out of the city safely? How do you answer? It'll be difficult. When you answer that it'll be difficult, Canute clutches his head and murmurs, how did it come to this, and then goes still. Call out to him, Canute suddenly gets up and walks away. It looks like his eyes are brimming with tears. You're left alone in this room, there's nothing more. Oh, okay. So you're about to leave the room, Kiritz appears and asks, what did you talk about with the prince? I'll answer honestly. Answer honestly that Prince Canute asked you, I want you to defeat the golem at the north gate right now. Kiritz starts to say, why now of all times, and then cuts himself off. He says, was the future king really going to abandon his sister and flee on his own? And his shoulders slump. Oh, you little shit! Kiritz firmly warns you, not a word of this to anyone, and walks away. You have no more business. I hate monarchy, though. I'll sell out this shithead the first chance I get. You arrive at the Hindle Gate on the south side. A crowd is formed in front. See an undead old woman stretching an arm through a narrow gap, trying to get into this zone. A few boys are teasing her for fun, probably as a test of courage. The older folks around them tremble in fear, desperately calling out to the boys, it's dangerous, stop it. Another elder is begging the gate guard, stop this ridiculous game. What do? Get out of here, you stupid shits. You call to the boys to back away, it's dangerous. Seems they recognize you as the one rumored to have slain the stone giant. Reluctantly, the boys do as you say. 6 plus asterisk underscore? Yeah, sure, Oodles. Whatever you say, bestie. Finish off the undead. Oh, dash, not underscore. Yeah, I can see it now. Yeah, there's a dash. Not big enough for underscore. Finish off. Even if it's already dead, without will or soul, striking down something in human form makes your stomach turn. You tell the children not to look, then pour your whole strength into a single decisive blow. Your crushing strike blasts the undead back out through the gate. Without a second's delay, you slam the great doors shut. Safety secured, cheers rise. Keep anyone from going near the great gate, you decide to light up barrels and wooden crates and build a simple protective barrier. Probably get in the way when you head out to rescue the princess, but it's better than another undead scare. You glance over and spot Hilrevi among the civilians hauling barrels. I'd say you handled that pretty well, Hilrevi calls out with a smile. Alright, here, take this. It's something precious. With that, she presses a red gemstone into your hand. Ruby of Destruction! That's that thing that the jackass has the monopoly on. You think her and take it. Are you going to the castle? You answer, we're leaving after this, she says. I divined Abbess Holm's whereabouts again last night, but I found nothing. Please look after Abbess Holm, Hilrevi says, fixing you with a serious gaze. Will you join? I'm not going, there's a bit of a problem. Hilrevi places a hand on your shoulder. If it gets dangerous, run, okay? No matter what, come back alive, she says and walks away. You got it, Queen. Nothing more to do here. Outside safe zone. Rare stone that triggers disintegration magic. Strange mineral mined only near Longbolt Castle. Once an important source of revenue for Euron. Now fully depleted and extremely expensive, it shatters into pieces after use. Combat only. So it just instantly kills something? Look for the waterworks engineer who repeatedly hasn't returned to the city. You decide you need to go outside the safe zone. You appeal to the guards at the southern Hindle Gate, but they refuse, saying we can't open the gate for a reason like that. Can't leave through the Hindle Gate where so many people are watching. You enter the flanking tower right next to it. The door leading outside is piled high with crates and tables, completely blocked. My gosh, I did not mean to send that. No, it's okay. It's okay. We know you were just filling in your dating profile on, like, monsterfuckerlovers.net, and you were just specifying that you only want 6 foot tall and taller werewolves, and also 6 inches and longer werewolves. So it's okay. We know. With no other choice, you climb the stairs of the flanking tower, lean out an upper floor window, and look down outside. There are no living dead. You lower a rope from here, it looks like you could climb down and get outside the safe zone. Go outside the safe zone, even if it's stupid. Going out alone could be foolish and reckless, but you decide to try it anyway. In the upper floor of the flanking tower, you find a long rope and tie one end to the handle of the door that leads to the staircase. You clamp the rope between your legs, bring it forward under your right arm, loop it over your left shoulder, and grip the rope that runs behind your back with your lowered right hand. With this, you should be able to climb down from the window somehow. Yeah, look at me! Slowly climb down, bracing your feet against the wall of the flanking tower. Roll one die to see if you make it down safely. It's 3. Am I gonna like... The rope's friction makes your neck burn like fire. Lose 1 stamina point. If this injury kills you, go to 14. Somehow you make it down. You slowly open your tightly clenched right hand and let go of the rope. Fortunately, there are no living dead in sight. Quickly check where the waterworks engineer's shop is. There it is. Facing the street that leads to the south gate is a sign reading Marius Construction. Enter through the back door. Push open the back door. The house is deathly quiet. 2 gold coins are lying on the floor. You pick them up. Doesn't seem to be anyone on the first floor, but there are signs of a struggle. Go up to the second floor? Go up to the second floor. No one is here either. Then faintly, you hear a sound from above, probably from the attic. You quietly climb the stairs, careful not to make a sound. The attic door has been left open. You gently peer inside. Inside, heaps of baggage are piled high. Something moves beneath the light from the skylight. As you step into the attic, a ragged undead leaps out right in front of you and charges, hair flying. What do? Fight. Level 8. Ragged undead. Yeah, you're not scary. You attacking an enemy? Yep. Okay. Terrifying undead in rags. It charges you at breakneck speed. Little else is known. I'm just gonna bop it. Yep. Bang. One more. One more should do it. Ah, I thought that was double 6s for a second. Get out of here. Don't even need to worry. The undead stops moving. The person in a red vest lying nearby is already dead. This must be the waterworks engineer you were looking for. Waterworks engineer wears a gold pendant. Take it. Remove the gold pendant from the waterworks engineer and put it in your pack. There's nothing more to do here. You go down the stairs and head outside. No one dead. It's still safe. Turning the corner, you spot the flanking tower. But the rope you used is gone. Seems one of the guards hauled it back up. You shout for someone at the top of your lungs, but no one comes. Left with no choice, you pound on the Hindle gate. There's no response. Either they can't hear you or the gate guards aren't at their post. As you hesitate, a shambling figure appears at the far end of the street. It has to be one of the undead. Look for another way in. Cast an unlocking spell. Shoulder charge the door open. I might just cast an unlocking spell? Unlocking spell. Which spell book? What is Galdrabok? I'm gonna read mine. Isn't locked, it's barred. Damn it! I was worried that might be the case. Look for another way. That's hilarious. Look for any way back to the safe zone. Try the opposite? You sprint to the opposite flanking tower. This door won't open either, but the stone wall is crumbled in places from weathering. You think you might be able to climb up to the nearest window. Climb the crumpled wall and enter via the window. Roll one die to see if you can climb. It's 5. Oh, I barely made it. You managed to climb up the window, but you're a bit worn out. You steady your breathing, then move to another part of the city. This is fun. I like the side quests and stuff that we have going on here as well. Alright, back to the inn. Welcome back, Paneri. Door opens and the young woman asks, "Did you find out anything about my friend?" Give her the gold pendant. This belongs to your friend. You tell her how you came to have the gold pendant. I see, she says, tears spilling down her cheeks. My friend has a twin brother. He's the younger one and they always dress alike. He wears a green vest. They're very close, so they went outside the zone together, but he doesn't seem to have come back to the city either. Now think of it, I've also heard that Baron Bitsakam's family hasn't returned to the city either, she adds. As thanks, she presses 5 gold coins into your hand. You have no more business. Okay. Go elsewhere. Well, I got a bunch of stuff. I still can't afford the crossbow, unfortunately. I could buy armor, though. Like, this might not be the worst call. It does lower my level, though. Whereas this one doesn't. This one's also just like 4 gold. Give me that. Equip that. It's not as nice as my current fit. But still. No, I'm good. Okay, I think that's everything. I think now we just go to the plaza. You arrive at the central plaza. Among the many knights, Kiritz is there. You? Let me save. Speak to Kiritz. Noticing you, Kiritz asks, are you ready? I'm ready. Kiritz mounts his horse. Alright, move out. Orders ring out and the knights form up. At last the march begins. Your heart quickens despite yourself. Just then, Gildy comes running in. I don't trust you, Griffith. Please turn down. You'll only slow us down. So your actions and choices, you gain 107 XP. Hell yeah. Let's increase that max HP. Would you like to save your adventure? Yes. Thank you. Okay. Rescue of the princess. We should definitely stop there. This is cool though. This is a good time and the art is great. But yeah, I should probably stop there. Oh, big stretch. Thanks for hanging out. I might stream tomorrow too if I have the time and everything, but I'll announce it if I do. So bye bye. Have a good time zone.